the probably most inexplicable event maybe in the history of the world. We're on day 16, where Mary conceives the Son of God in her womb. Good to have you back again, Amy. Thank you for helping us.
Thank you.
Through
Thank
Advent.
you for having me back. I appreciate it.
Well, why don't we start by reading it?
Okay.
Of course, we're in Luke, and it's chapter 1, starting at verse 34. And the angel has already told her that she's going to conceive. And now she's responding to the angel. She says, "How will this be?" Mary asked the angel, "since I am a virgin." And the angel answered, "The Holy Spirit will come on you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. So the Holy One to be born will be called the Son of God. Even Elizabeth, your relative, is going to have a child in her old age, and she who was said to be unable to conceive is in her 6th month, for no word from God will ever fail." So, Amy, what exactly is happening here? Just sum it all up, please, and explain it to us.
I think that we are at the beginning of trying to understand the hypostatic union of
I can't believe you used that term.
of Jesus being fully man and fully God, which we're still, even if you fully wrap your mind around Mary's conception, we still tussle with that idea today. I think it's still really tricky to talk about, no matter how many thousands of years go by, because it's a one-of-a-kind thing. And some of the ways that we might be able to understand that is that we still get the gift of God with us, but God also in us, meaning the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
And
or as Paul puts it, Christ in us, the hope of glory.
Yeah.
But this is, what happens to Mary, literally. Christ comes, it doesn't come into her heart, he comes into her womb. And then Christ grows within her. And then ultimately she births Christ from her. And it is an incredible, it's more than a metaphor. It's the beginning of what happens with all of us. And there's this unity between us and God that happens when we consent, when we say yes. This new, Jesus called it being born anew. There's a conception that happens inside of us.
It becomes a way for us to really know that he does identify with us, and that he went through it all. He grew in his mother's womb. He was born. He did go through all of those things. What
blows me away as we're talking about this is the idea that we're not even talking about the entire universe entering into 2 cells that create a human being. We're talking about something bigger than the universe, because it tells us in Colossians that it was through him that the universe was made. So something bigger than the entire universe, God, which is everything, everywhere, all the time, except for evil. Somehow all of that fully enters into 2 human cells. It just says that she was overshadowed, or that the power would overshadow her. What does it feel like in the tummy of a teenager when that moment happens?
Yeah, I didn't know I was pregnant until I was like 6 weeks, and I still didn't know as far as feeling it farther along than that. If you have the Holy Spirit, if you do say that you belong to Christ, at some time or other, I believe that you feel the presence of the Lord, and it's not always something that you can give a description to.
Yeah, and if following Christ means following him, then we follow the same pattern of a new life that starts. And on the one hand, when Paul says something like, God will bring to completion every good work that he starts.
Yes.
And like you said, that baby's coming. And so we follow Jesus literally, as in a sense, we're following Mary as a type, that we receive it with some humility, and but with a lot of hardship, like you said. But that birth will come, and that change, that Christ will be exposed within us.
It's all okay in the end, and if it's not okay, then it's not the end. So if you are willing to do that scary thing, or that, that thing that will bring you adversity just because God said so, whether you've been waiting for your whole adult life, which for Elizabeth is, 75 years or whatever, or you're Mary, who has just kind of left childhood barely, that he can do those big miracles, those impossible things, and make a way where there just doesn't seem to be any understanding from the human perspective as to why and how that could happen.